brothers are in the house.
Hi. I'll always refer to him as Amaal because that's what I've known.
But you confuse us like that.
For this interview, I will say Amaal, don't worry.
Yes.
DNA. That's my mother.
That was Harry Potter.
That's Dumbledore.
Armaan Malik, are you going to be collaborating with BTS anytime soon?
Whenever it happens, it will happen, and I'm sure the army will be very happy.
I am ARMY myself, so we will be very happy. So do you both sort of have that dream to win a Grammy Award?
वैसे तो ग्रैमी के बीचों बीच AM है तो हमें मिलना ही है एक दिन.
Nice! You are very good-looking young musicians, and a huge part of your fan base is young girls.
That's something you have to tell them to calm down about because they have exams and they're like still waiting when I'm going to come online.
Hey,
Hi! How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm very well. So, where's your brother? I think he's joining separately, right?
Yeah, he's joining.
Okay, so before he comes, I'll ask you, because we were just discussing that when I was watching your interviews together. You call him Amaal, and the whole world calls him Amaal. So can you just tell us the correct pronunciation?
No, so his original name is Amal, like a screen name. You know, people have different screen names. So his screen name is Amaal Mallik with a double L.
So I'll just say Amaal then. I just don't want to be wrong. That's all.
Yeah, you can.
Never want to be wrong.
Amal. I think Amal is fine. I'll always refer to him as Amal because that's what I've known since childhood.
But you confuse us like that. It's confusing.
Okay, for this interview, I will say Amal. Don't worry.
Yes. Yes. Especially for this interview.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Where's Armaan?
But now I don't see. Yeah, now I don't see Armaan anymore. Where
I'm
is he?
here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Both the brothers are in the house. Are we ready? Can we start?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hi guys, my name is Sakshma Srivastav, and I hope that all of you who are watching the show from your homes are happy and healthy. Today I have with me two very talented musicians. Music and talent runs in their blood, and every single time they sort of release their music, it's chef's kiss. Please welcome Amaal and Armaan Malik. Hi!
Hi. How are you?
Welcome to E Now. How are you doing, both of you?
Really
Very
good.
Armaan, I want to ask you, you have, spent a lot of time touring and doing like a lot of live performances, and I know you're very experienced on stage, but anybody can get nervous before going on stage. Have you ever had a panic attack or heavy anxiety, and do you have a trick that you use to sort of come out of it immediately so that you can perform better?
I actually feel like if I'm on stage, I'll not have panic attacks and anxiety. Being on
You're
stage,
comfortable.
it's the most comfortable feeling for me, even though there are some butterflies in my stomach before going on stage, which is very normal. I think that's very important because if you are nervous, that means you care about what you do, you care about the fans, you care about the music. So for me, it's important to have that little nervousness before going on stage, but I'm so comfortable on stage. It's like either the bedroom or the stage. Those are my two. The
bedroom or the stage? What is that supposed to be?
I'm completely comfortable in both these atmospheres and environments. So I really don't have any anxiousness when I'm on stage performing. So when I see the fans, I just light up. Whatever I have, any worry, any problem that's happening in my life, I just shut off for those 2 hours or 2.5 hours that I perform.
That's so true. A lot of people say that stage is actually for a musician, it's like meditation, because that's the place where they get to do what they love the most, and they also get to interact with the people for whom they do it. So stage is it's sacred for them. So yeah, I understand what you're trying to say. I want to ask you both also, how important do you feel it is as musicians to be on top in the industry, to aim to be the number one? Is that a target, or you just want to compete with yourself?
I don't take it as competition, but if someone's done a good job, someone's composed a very good song, I think it should be inspiring enough for you to try harder and do better. So anyone who does a good job or a good song, I usually congratulate them also. And I feel it's important that everyone does good music, because
Do you
It's
text people like other musicians that, wow,
I
this one's really
I
nice?
think I share their songs on my stories, and
Oh,
if
that
I'm
is so
replying.
sweet. Armaan, I want to ask you that because you have sort of collaborated with international artists, a lot of people are doing international collaborations now and also just promoting their own work in different countries because that helps them get that global recognition and takes the stardom to another level. Do you think it is absolutely like necessary now to do it in this age, to go global?
I feel like Asian artists, Indian artists, they are starting this movement or starting to get recognition globally in the last few years with acts like BTS, Blackpink, and stuff that's happening from the K-pop world. I feel like from India now, there's a surge of artists that are now going to rise up in the global pop scenario or global R&B or EDM or whatever it is. I think Indian artists are ready to go global. They've always been ready. There's just been no access. Indian musicians are going to be and should be global musicians and not just Bollywood musicians or filmy or non-filmy musicians. They should just make music for the world. And that's happening. And I feel like it's starting now. In the next few years, we should be seeing a lot of Indian artists in places that they've never been before.
True. We deserve to be on world stage, right? There's so
For
much
sure.
talent in India. We deserve to be there. Okay, because you mentioned K-pop, Armaan, the BTS Indian Army has sent me a very important question that they've told me absolutely to ask you. If I don't ask you, they're going to be like, we told you to ask this and you did not ask him. So, Armaan Malik, are you going to be collaborating with BTS anytime soon? Is that a plan? Can we expect it? Please tell the Indian BTS Army.
I mean, I would love to. I don't know if it's going to happen soon. I'm not sure if they are looking at collaborating with an Indian artist yet, but I think it would be fabulous to do something with them. I really love what they've been putting out recently, especially in English. And I love a few of their ballads as well. I'm a huge K-pop ballad kind of guy, so I love ballads and I love the stuff that they've put out over the years. And if an opportunity arises where we get to collaborate, I would love to do that. I don't have a timeline to it because we haven't really connected. I haven't really connected with them or their team or whatever. So yeah, whenever it happens, it will happen, and I'm sure the army will be very happy when it does.
I am Army myself, so we will be very happy. You'll find me cheering the most if that happens. Okay, I'm really looking forward to it. Okay, so next thing I want to ask you is both of you are very good-looking young musicians, and a huge part of your fan base is young girls who we all know can be sometimes a little obsessive, and it is actually a very important issue that needs to be addressed, that sometimes fans sort of cross the line and start, idolizing their idol in an unhealthy way, which leads to toxic behavior. Please address this issue, because I want you to sort of give a message to these people so that they remember that it is important to respect your idol and stand them in a healthy way.
There have been like one or two times where fans have crossed their boundaries and kind of like encroached upon our private space. But as a whole, I think both Armaanians and the Amaalians, they pretty much they respect our space and they don't kind of like cross the line. They love us ferociously. They really love us. But
That's something you have to tell them to calm down about, because there are times when they feel something for us and they feel they need to speak about it. And even before I can see what's happening, there is already some trend happening, for me. And then, all these things. I think it's beautiful to, have that kind of support. Always focus on yourself also. It's a time where you need to move forward, try your best.
Amaal has said this before on social media where he put
I
out a
said,
story.
They have exams and they're like still waiting when I'm going to come online. I'm like, first finish the paper and tell me, okay, the exam was good, I'll come back online. I need them to focus on their life. So I keep, from time to time, I tell them, it's okay. I put a picture at 3 a.m. and I get replies to my story like in seconds, and I'm like, y'all are still awake. Like, it's amazing.
You're like the warden of the hostel, telling them to study,
it's beautiful,
go back to sleep.
But they should have that balance,
It was important to address this because, fans can be a little obsessive sometimes, which is not good for them. Okay, also as musicians, music is a field where a musician is really involved, especially for the two of you. You really involve your soul into your music, which can be seen. People say that when they have a heartbreak, is when good music comes out. On the other hand, people say when they are happy and healthy is when they sort of work best. For the two of you, what side works best?
I think for me, the most important thing is to let yourself feel in him. That's my mother again in between an
That was Harry Potter.
Yeah, mom's the Harry Potter right now.
That's Dumbledore.
You're a Potterhead or like?
I'm deviating, but I
not
just have
read
to
all
ask
the
you.
books though, but watched all the movies for sure. So for me, it's very important to, I tell this to a lot of younger artists also, that be open to feeling things. Don't try to like cover those feelings. It's okay. If you have a heartbreak, deal with it, grow out of it. And that growth will help you in some way, maybe as a human being also. And music cannot be, pure music, honest music cannot happen if you don't let yourself feel things.
I feel like whatever I'm going through in life really affects my performance. So the kind of person that I am, I'm a Cancerian, so I have a big shell around me. And if there's anything that happens to me, I go into my shell and I don't let anything affect me. And I'm in that shell, in that recording booth, doing my thing, when none of those emotions that I'm going through really affects me. So, and I really try hard. Sometimes it is not hard because you're going through some really tough things in life and you can't help it, but it just comes out, maybe a tear or maybe just feeling heavy in your heart or whatever it is. But when I'm in a recording studio and when I'm working, doing music, whatever I'm going through, it gets left at the door. I don't bring it inside with me. So Amaal has a very different approach. I have a very different approach.
Do you ever like channelize that pain into a recording? Ever? Like you just said that I leave it out at the door, which is the healthy thing to do, but have you ever sort of used that sort of crack in the voice and that emotion to sing?
I try to channel that and access that by creating an atmosphere where I go into a dark space. So I would switch off the lights in the studio. I would think of a memory that is not so pleasant and access that emotion, but only for the recording. Then I don't take that heaviness with me wherever I go. So I don't know how I do this. I just have this switch on, switch off kind of a thing in the studio. I don't like to, and I don't let things affect my singing and my performance.
But that's extremely important to be able to switch off. I mean,
yeah,
you use it till you need it, and then it's gone. It needs to be gone. Can't stay with you.
Yeah. So I mean, people might look at me as being an emotionless person when I'm there, when I'm doing my singing, but I know how to access my emotions for the song so that the song comes out true. It's even though I'm doing playback singing and there is a certain level of honesty that you require, but there's a certain level of thought and conscious like delivery that's important, that you need to think, okay, if I was in love or I was in heartbreak, this is how I would sing. So access those emotions very temporarily. I don't go deep into it where I'm completely in that zone. So that doesn't happen for me.
But wow, I've had actors sort of say these things on the show, like people say that this is actually method acting, but like the music version of it that you just described, going
method
in,
singing.
feeling method singing. Wow, from one of the best. Superb. Okay, lastly, I want to ask you this because this is like the hot topic with a lot of musicians. Everybody, almost all the musicians all across the world want a Grammy. They almost that's a target, and it's understandable because for an actor it's an Oscar, for a musician it's a Grammy. So do you both sort of have that dream to win a Grammy award?
I mean, I think it would be amazing if we win a Grammy. वैसे तो Grammy के बीचों बीच AM है तो हमें मिलना ही है एक दिन.
Nice.
So I think eventually I feel like when you really manifest something in your life, you do work towards it and you get it and you attract it in your life. I'm not saying that I have this one sole goal of getting a Grammy. I want to do really good music, which then attracts all those things into my life. But yeah, I mean, if we get a Grammy, that would be so cool. I think me and Amaal
it'll be the coolest thing ever. Like India will go crazy. Twitter will be on fire. We will always be like, we'll be just dancing if you both get a Grammy. Like I will be the loudest. Amaal didn't say anything on this. You need to say something. Nobody stays silent on my show.
What Armaan said is really right. We want to create really good music. And then all this is something, every musician dreams of it. And hopefully the song connects to the world in such a big way that that's the first award. And then maybe the Grammys can follow.
That is very beautifully put. Rewards, then awards. Okay, thank you so much to both of you for giving me your time. I feel so honored to get both of you together, and all the best for the future. I hope you keep giving us better music and keep entertaining us for many, many years to come. I look forward to more songs, and take care of yourself. I'll see you soon, sort of offline, hopefully.
No, thank you.
See you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
See you.
Bye.